Now, next topic kind of goes back to the community. It's something that I've been thinking about for a little bit of time now, and that is, the way that the community acts and stuff, and how that affects current events around the world. Because, we tend to group ourselves alone, but at the same time, everything we do does affect other people, and, and not only other people, but us as well. And I think that there have been some things going on in current events that, there are some things we could do ourselves to help. And I think we're beginning to do those things as a community. The main thing I was thinking of is, well, the current event I'm talking about is there have been some bills going through Congress. Some have not passed, some are still in discussion about video games and restrictions being placed on them. And unfortunately, I haven't been paying attention to this in other countries, but I'm sure if us in the US are facing it, that at some time in the future, or your country may have already had or is having, something similar go through where, they're restricting it on the basis that, it can affect a person psychologically, especially younger people who, their minds are more susceptible to influence and stuff like that. So, and I've given this a little bit of thought, and, I think that the more that we act immature as a group and as a community, the more reasoning and the more push it kind of gives towards their arguments and their reasoning behind what they do. I mean, if we act mature, don't argue with each other, simple stuff where we don't act immature, and like we're the only people that I think it would help out our cause a whole lot, just because you can't really blame people for thinking that the gamers, which includes a hardcore gaming community, casual gamers, young and old, if they're acting immature, then you can't really blame people for thinking that it does have a heavy influence on the way that we act. And I think it's in our best interest as a community, to be on our best behavior, even though it gives you, playing video games online gives you anonymity, whatever. I'm sorry, I have dyslexia basically. But you're anonymous when you're online, stuff like that. And that can lead to some problems and some things that are not of benefit to anyone. At the same time, it gives people the chance of all cultures and stuff like that to come together, and so it has its positives, it has its drawbacks, and we definitely need to work on playing off of those, and if we start acting the way we would if we were in real life. I'm not saying you have to call everyone sir and ma'am and all that stuff when you're playing online, but when you're running around calling random people douchebags and saying they suck, I'm not going to get into details. I'm sure we've all seen it, we've all run into it. But that just, it doesn't help at all. And, my phone just went off. But that was a very long spiel for, something that, probably can be talked about, can be gone in depth about. But not only that, but, it's something that, it's just a thought, just something to think about, to keep in mind while you're, playing, while you're online, simple stuff like that. And, I'm sure none of us really want any problems to happen with the gaming community, any certain laws and stuff like that to be put into place. And right now everything is sort of just a discussion, nothing's been passed or anything like that, but, at the same time, we don't need to give them any reasoning to. So, you know, maybe if you agree with that, maybe you can put something, if you are, if you're on YouTube yourself, maybe you mention something in one of your videos or something like that, or you know, share the idea behind, or that idea with someone else. Maybe I'll try to do that. We'll see. But wow, I thought I was going to have a difficult time doing a 16-minute commentary, and I've already gone through 14 minutes of it. And this is the first time I've actually even gotten this far, because last night I was doing this. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I got about halfway through and I cut a clip of it, and I listened to it, and at the beginning of the video my voice was, at a decent volume, and by the end it was a steady mumble that was nothing more than that you really couldn't understand. So, I'm glad that I actually decided to do this during the day, just because, I actually just woke up from a nap, and I took a siesta, but it definitely helps out. I would appreciate it if if you gave me any tips and stuff on commentaries, because that would be very nice of you, and I would appreciate it. I should have another commentary coming up soon. I've been playing a lot more. I've been playing Black Ops on Xbox, and as well as PS3, as I said earlier. But just a word of advice for the PS3 players: if you enjoyed World at War at all, you are going to love this next map pack because of the map Hazard. It's probably my new favorite map. But this commentary is actually coming to a close, and I think that this one is going to pass. I appreciate it if you listened all the way to here, but I hope you all have a great day, and thanks for watching. Any tips, I would appreciate it. If you liked it, maybe a like, and see you later.